Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be looking at everything we know about Vulcanites so far, what you're going to be able to do with them inside of Vulcanverse, across the Vulcan Forge gaming ecosystem as a whole, and just some speculation about some potential things going on with them down the line, because not all information is out yet, so we're still in the dark on some things, but just going to catch you up as quick as possible on everything there is to know up to this point, at least regarding Vulcanites in Vulcan Forged and Vulcanverse. So if you come to the Vulcanverse.com website here, scroll down a tab. There's this from the Book of Vulcan section. Over here, creatures, battles, Vulcanites. It says the MMO element of Vulcanverse is through Vulcan's creatures, Vulcanites. These are quadrant-specific 3D fighting beasts with a rich history and lore attached. Explore alone or with a battle-ready horde. So they're basically your in-game pet creatures that you can uh, have do whatever you want for you in-game, whether it's fighting, foraging, defending your land. Uh, there's an espionage aspect to the game, which we'll touch in a minute here. And then also, if you scroll up to the top tab on the Vulcanverse website, or the top part of the Vulcanverse website, there's this Vulcanites tab here. And if you click that, each Vulcanite, so these are the four quadrants. Each Vulcanite has its own little section of lore here that you can read just to get some background info on them. So these are the Boreas Vulcanites, Hades Vulcanites, and just some cool little lore there. And then also in the Vulcanverse Discord, they have this little commands section. So when you type in !Vulcanites, it gives you a quick little description uh, of what Vulcanites are really. So it says Vulcanites are the pet creatures of the Vulcanverse. Each of them is unique, has a tailored lore and set of skills that can be powered up to a cap, and is exclusive to its land area and level. Owning higher tiered land grants access to Vulcanites with higher limit skills. While Vulcanverse is all about world building, introducing Vulcanites opens up a wide range of additional functionalities and game modes. They can be used to forage materials, compete for exclusive NFTs during treasure hunts, or participate in community-led minigames and side quests. So there's a lot going on with Vulcanites, really. And it says they're the pet creatures of the Vulcanverse, but they actually are usable across other games in the Vulcan Forge ecosystem, specifically Forge Arena and Berserk. So they're not only tied to Vulcanverse. You get them in an NFT that you have full ownership of, and then you can use it across the various Vulcan Forge games um, and earn lava using them, etc. And so now if we go to this other tab I have here, so this website's called vulcanstats.io, and it has all the Vulcanites in the game listed in one place here. So if you look at Arcadia and Hades, they go from level 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5. But then for Notice, it goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. There's level 6 Vulcanite Notice. And Boreas goes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So as of right now, Boreas and Notice are the only quadrants with level 6 Vulcanites. But they don't have a level 3 in Boreas, and there's no level 4 in Notice. So going to be interesting to see how that plays out, if there's going to be more Vulcanites added, or if this is what it's going to be. Not too sure up to this point. But then if you go up here, there's a little stats tab. You can click stats. And so now these are just like the base in-game stats for all the Vulcanites. So additions here is how many of them are in existence, how many of that Vulcanite will be in existence. Attack and defense stats, pretty self-explanatory. Attack is how much damage you can do. Defense is how much damage you can take, I'm assuming. Foraging is, so if we pull this little thing back up, it says they can be used to forage materials, compete for exclusive NFTs during treasure hunts, or participate in community-led minigames and side quests. So foraging is a really cool aspect of the game um, that you use Vulcanites for. So it's basically they just go around your plots of land or plots of land in the game, and they hunt for materials for you. And here it says complete for exclusive NFTs during treasure hunts. So there will be cool like NFTs that your Vulcanites can forge in game for you, and there are also going to be PYR pits, which is the Vulcanverse in-game currency, its own cryptocurrency. So your Vulcanites can go and they can actually farm PYR pits uh, for you, and you earn that's it's another way in game to earn PYR. Um, and yeah, so if we jump back here to the stats and we go, so we'll look at foraging for example. So clicking this filters it to the highest foraging stat, Vulcanites up top, and then it goes down to the lowest here. So as of right now, Pneumatox is the only 20,000 skill foraging Vulcanite, followed by Nemean, Copus, Medusa. Um, so this is basically just how good these Vulcanites are at foraging. And it's not hasn't been really stated yet as far as I can tell, but I'm assuming the higher level the Vulcanite's foraging skills, the quicker it'll be able to forage, the better things it will be able to get when foraging. Um, and yeah, also the higher level your land is, the better things are on that land to forage. Which makes sense because you wouldn't even be able to use a pneumatox on your land unless you had level 6 land, um, which you level up by staking PYR in the land. But you can only use, if you only have level 4 land, you couldn't use a Nemean or a Copus or a level 5 plus Vulcanite on it. It has to be the same level of the land you're on or lower, for that Vulcanite to have access to. So, yeah, so these are all the stats here. So if you look at foraging, Pneumatox is the best. And espionage is an interesting aspect to the game. There's not a ton of information out up to this point of exactly how it's going to work. But basically, it's just like you can, from what I understand, is you can like spy on other people's plots of land, like and get their building blueprints and just different pieces of like architecture on their land. If you like it, you can steal it essentially. You can like steal their blueprints, and you get XP and different things for that. Um, so that's espionage, foraging, attack, defense, and now one really cool thing about Vulcanites as well is, so if we go back to this little Discord thing, it says um, right here, it says each of them is unique, has a tailored lore and set of skills that can be powered up to a cap. So what I'm inferring from that is that as you play with Vulcanites across the Vulcan Forge gaming ecosystem, you accumulate lava. And if we jump to the white paper here, I have this page. So this is lava's the play to earn aspect of the Vulcan Forge ecosystem. And at the bottom here, it says lava is also required to upgrade assets across our ecosystem, including Vulcanverse land, as well as assigning powers to various cards. Hoarding or spending lava is your choice. So you'll use lava to upgrade assets, and Vulcanites definitely count as Vulcanverse assets, I would say. So if we use that in tandem with has a tailored lore and set of skills that can be powered up to a cap. So how I'm interpreting that is, as you play all these Vulcan Forge games, you'll accumulate lava, and you can then allocate that lava into certain Vulcanites to increase their different stats. So if you have like uh, if you have a Nemean, let's say, who has 15,000 attack stat, and you play a bunch and accumulate a good bit of lava, you can then put some lava in that uh, Nemean Nemean or Nemean, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but to then upgrade his attack stats. So that Nemean is now more powerful than a baseline one would be, and would then be worth more on the marketplace for a new prospective player to come in and if they wanted to purchase. So it's really cool how you can you can evolve your Vulcanites and make them stronger over time by playing more. I think it's just a really cool aspect that they're doing with those. And then another cool thing, which again there's not a ton of information out about this yet, but we know it's going to be a thing in the game, is these things called Berserk Days, which is either going to be like once a week or maybe bi-weekly. Not sure, but how that works is basically all Vulcanites, or all people I guess who are logged into the Vulcanverse. It's just this one huge battle where all Vulcanites will run to this battlefield and they'll just bash it out. And then the winning quadrant for that week, or however often it is, gets rewards in some capacity. We don't know a ton about it yet, but that's going to be a really fun, really cool aspect of the game. And there'll just be these rivalries building between the different quadrants to try to win the Berserk Day competitions. Uh, So yeah, that's how they're one way they'll be used inside of Vulcanverse is the Berserk days, fighting for you, defending your land, foraging NFTs and PYR and materials in game for you, spying on other people's lands to get blueprints, etc. And then you can also use them. So if we'll jump to vulcanforge.com here. And one last thing is I'll just explain how once you own a Vulcanite, they're not just usable in Vulcanverse. So if you wanted to play Forge Arena is this really cool like auto battler game, team fight tactics meets Summoner's War, uh, type of thing kind of. And you use the Vulcanites that you own in that game as well. Same thing goes for Berserk. Kind of like how in Hearthstone, where the different classes have different hero abilities in the game. I'm assuming for Berserk, it's going to be kind of similar, where you different Vulcanites are like your hero character, and they'll have different like abilities that can be used in game, essentially. So really really cool stuff overall regarding Vulcanites. Just like probably the most interesting aspect of the game as a whole, or at least one of the most interesting aspects, in my opinion. And then I guess last thing I'll do before we close it out here is I'll take you guys to the marketplace, market.vulcanforge.com, and I'll show you guys how to look at what Vulcanites are available and how to buy one if you'd want to do that. So you come to the marketplace. You have to set up a wallet and stuff if you haven't done so already, but then you come here, Vulcanites, apply, and you can see all listed Vulcanites, their current price, uh, and yeah, this is where you go. So if you were to want to buy one, like this is a decent deal for a Blubberjaw, 15,000 fire is a very reasonable price. You would come here, you would sync your wallet. I have 11 fire in my balance right now, so I'm not going to be picking this up, but you'd hit this buy now button. Yes, I'm sure. It would take a minute or so, then you would come up here to my items and it would show up in your Vulcan Forge NFT wallet there. So that is just a base rundown of everything we know Vulcanites related so far. I can't think of anything else to mention. But if there is anything that I think of before this video is posted, I'll put in the description of this video, or touch it again in a future video. But this has been everything we know about Vulcanites up to this point, and I'll put out more videos, uh, updating with more information as more comes out and as we know more. But as of right now, that you're basically fully caught up to this point, and can check out all the various websites that I'll put in the description of this video to get more information on their lore abilities or lore stats, whatever you want to look at. But appreciate you taking the time to check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.